Welcome back, heroes. I'll be your bard this evening, and today we're going to talk about the NPC Wake-Up Call, to be quite frank. So I have a list of 28 things that is going to be really painful for me to go through and admit which ones I suck at. But the goal of the channel is to help others, and as a byproduct myself, become the hero of their journey and not an NPC. You can't see, but I'm like bundled up and like all kinds of nervous because this is gonna suck. So, okay. So the goal of this list is to find out how many of these sting, and if they sting, then you know you have a place to work on. I'm not gonna say you suck because that's really mean, and that's what I'm thinking towards myself. But anyways, so tally these up, how many sting, and at the end, I'll tell you what that rating means based on how many you check. Oh, I gotta keep a tally myself. I am totally stalling. This video is gonna be as long as it takes. I'm gonna try to keep it short, but just reading a list is boring, so I'll give you some stories and whatever as I go along. So, number 1, no more stalling. If you say someday more than you say today. Check. Ouch. Yeah, I live in my head a lot. I have a lot of dreams and goals I want to achieve. I have a lot of big aspirations. And I focus more on the future than today and the work it requires to put in. And that's something I could definitely work on. Next up, I wait for permission to take action. I don't know about that one. I'm like in the middle. I'm gonna put a half in there. So I'm gonna put a hyphen or a dash for the ones I'm like neutral about. I might count this as a half later. We'll find out. Because with waiting for permission to take action, that's kind of like semi-perfectionism. It's waiting for the right tools and things like that. But sometimes, like a video, it requires certain tools. You can't put a nail in a board without a hammer. And I've been known to use really stupid objects to put nails in boards, so I'm not too worried about that one. Not a glaring issue. So, next up. I let fear of judgment dictate my choices. I'm gonna put a neutral on that. I am nervous about stuff, but I try to bite the bullet usually. That one I'll put a half mark on, actually. Okay. Next up. I consume more stories than I create. Oh, I used to. I sure as hell used to. Actually, I don't know if that's ever been true, because I've always been the forever GM. I've always been writing stories, I've always been trying to create, and now I've got YouTube and I'm trying to stream. Would streaming video games be considered consuming or creating? I think that would be consuming. I love to consume, I just don't have time. Yeah, I don't live my life as much as I write my life, so I'm going to put a half on that one, which I feel like is a little bit cheaty, but should be a scale of 1 to 5, but I'm just going to do check marks, because that's what I have. I wait for the perfect timing that never comes. Oof. Okay, that one stings. Immediately I thought about relationships. Yeah. So, guilty. Definitely guilty of that one. I let routines become cages instead of ladders. I feel like that one hits, but it doesn't sting. I'm terrible about scheduling stuff out, and like when I was at my best and I had no time at all, I had a girlfriend, a job, a thriving business, a bunch of friends, and I was keeping everything maintained and running a D&D game. Like, I was like all over the board. Every minute was busy, but I was really happy. I was also working out at that time. Like I was just peak human perfection. I was the bard. I was like, it was a great time in my life. And I was really good about keeping on schedule and putting myself to false deadlines. And so I can actually stay on task and like put pressure on it and use, oh, not Pavlov. Put the law down here. Put the law down here, because that's a really good one to have. It might be Parkinson's law, but Parkinson's? I don't know. It's this right here. This I will edit. That's fine. I'm gonna put a no, and I'm fine with that, because I don't schedule very well, and so therefore they can't become cages. I treat hobbies as distractions and not callings. I feel like I'm guilty of that, but it doesn't sting. I'm going to mark that. I'm going to check mark that. Because that one, I feel like there's truth to that, but I'm not ashamed of it because I love my hobbies. I love learning. It's just my life passion. That's why I'm a bard. I know my weaknesses better than I know my strengths. Oh, God. Oh, man. Man, big check mark. Ooh. I know my weaknesses better than I know my own strengths. Ooh. Oh man, cutting deep. Okay, next. Let's just move on. That one's pretty self-evident for most millennials. I compare myself to other heroes instead of tracking my own quest. I compare myself to other heroes instead of tracking my own quest. Yeah, I'd say I keep my eyes on, I don't know, the elites, the superiors, the people who are like ahead of the journey. Because I want to know where perfection and growth is, kind of follow their tracks. So I would mark that. I'm not focused on my own journey, which I guess, yeah, I really should be doing better. Next up, I let other people's quests pull me off my path. I let other people's quests pull me off my path. Yes. There's no sting in that, but I know it's true. So, next up is I avoid discomfort instead of training through it. Ooh. Yeah. That one doesn't sting though, because like I understand the human psychology behind it. It doesn't mean I'm not wrong. But yeah, I definitely, as a human, avoid discomfort instead of pushing into it and grinding. I'm getting a lot better at that recently though. This new job is kicking my ass, and it's actually just teaching me to stick to my grit. Okay. I silence my inner voice to keep peace with others. I silence my inner voice. No, I have conversations with my inner voice. I just don't speak them out loud. I'm tempered. I'm patient. I use my inner dialogue to deal with them, to improve the situation, to understand them, to find empathy. Well, compassion. I silence my inner voice. I know I was absolutely terrible at that in my youth. But I'd say it's not like a... I can't bring myself to put a neutral on that. Uh-oh. So yeah, I guess I checkmark that one. Okay, next up. I start my quests, but rarely finish them. I'm gonna get a big check mark on that guy, yeah. Okay. Next up. Being a bard, I'm very scattered. I don't know if I have ADHD. I haven't put the time or the money in to go get checked. But I am, as a bard with many hobbies and multi-passions, like, I am everywhere. I am all over the place. So, next up, I wait for a mentor instead of seeking one out. That's interesting. I don't feel that at all. I feel like we're safe on that one. Ooh, I have a lot of check marks. Ooh, this is going to be healthy and very, very painful. Okay, so yeah, I don't feel like I wait for a mentor. I will usually jump into stuff at times. If I have a mentor available, I will lean on them as a resource. But if I really want to do something, I would consider myself an autodidact, someone who teaches themselves. And I'll just go do the thing. And that's part of why I'm in the bard and I have so many adventures, which I need to get back to. I've been bad about that lately. Anyways, next up, we're just over the halfway point, so stick with me. I let villains, toxic people, stay in my party. Ooh. I let villains stay in my party. I would say no on that one. I am happy about that one. So I used to. Oh my god. I didn't know I was, which was a really hard thing. And like, this is a long time ago. And I would just settle for anyone because I had low self-esteem, yada yada. I was a teenager, 14 years old and deep. My life is a spiraling dark abyss. But aside from that, like, yeah, I didn't have the heart to find new people. I didn't believe I was good enough, yada yada. Like, and so I let people who would bring me down without me knowing it stick around. And one time I had a falling out with a group, which was fine. I've had that many times where I started getting shit because I was so positive and they were getting mad at me. Or one person who was like the leader of the group just started making up lies and shit like that and drama. And I was just like, okay, fuck it. If you don't believe me, then I'm not sticking around. And so I've always been pretty good about sticking to my values and sticking to my guns. I think that's also what attracted some of the right people that I still have around. Next up, I say yes to side quests that don't serve my main story. Big check mark on that one. So, I definitely say yes to side quests that don't serve my main story. Whether it's to help others out, whether it's because it sounds fun. I enjoy the mantra of do what makes a better story. You end up living a lot more interesting tales and like having more memories and like enjoying life a lot more that way. But you have to be careful. Like, one night adventures are fine. Like, those are perfectly fine. Someone asks you to go out to like their bachelor party, whatever, do it. 100% on board. Go live life, be around people, build a community. But I also have a knack for, hey, we're doing a LARP. Do you want to help be the committee and the admin group and this and that? And now I'm running a website for Big Iron, which is a Fallout LARP. And I'm also trying to get my shit together and run one in spring now. One of my own, which is also Fallout. And so hooray for the Radlands and hooray for Big Iron LARP. What is it? BigIronLARP.com? Which I just got the website up today as a point of getting distracted from my main quest. Okay, moving on. So, next up, I trade long-term growth for short-term comfort. Ooh, I used to be really good about delayed gratification. How am I presently, though? I trade long-term growth. I'd say I'm pretty bad about that. I don't feel that guilty about it because, like, I don't know, I've been going through some shit and life's been a little difficult this last year, but like nothing crazy, just being unemployed, this and that, life is stressful. Nothing to really bitch about. But getting myself distracted. But yeah, I'd say just little things like time wasters. What was it? Hypnotic time wasters? I really like the way that was phrased. I heard that a couple days ago. That's beautifully put. And yeah, I recently became aware that I suck at those. Next up is I hoard ideas instead of sharing them. I don't think so. I think I'm good on that one. I like to share knowledge. Well, here I am. Here I am with this list that I have made. I haven't even put it on Patreon, and it'll be on Patreon, by the way, if you want a full checklist and don't want to hear my rambling and don't give a shit. I'd rather help you than bore you to death and have you not be helped. So, go be the hero of your story without me. And then hopefully tell me about it later. I do want to hear your successes and things like that. Like, I want to hear, one, that I'm making an impact and this isn't a waste of time. But I want to hear, like, how you did it. And I want you to really celebrate and, like, tell me the tales. That would actually be really fun. That'd actually be really, really cool. I would love that. So share your successes. I want to hear them. Okay, next. Oh no. I chase dopamine over meaning. Click. Okay. I chase dopamine over meaning. I sure as hell do. I love my video games. I grew up with that as my addiction versus alcohol, so hooray for me for escaping the family cycle. Oh, but I'm Irish. What do you want? But yeah, I definitely chase dopamine. I have found ways to weaponize video games against myself, where when I was home, I'm no longer home when I work because I work half a state away. When I was home, would recenter myself with video games. I'd play like an hour, maybe 2 hours, and I would bring my stress level and my dopamine back up. Sorry. Stress level and cortisol down, dopamine up. And I would use that as a way to grind, reduce and reset, grind, reduce and reset. Even though they weren't my best ways to recharge, my best ways to recharge are to be around people, to be out, to be adventuring. Because, God, I love people. I love hearing their stories. I love, I don't know, human connection, which is kind of ironic because I grew up in the woods alone. But that's a story for later. We don't have time for that. But yeah, around 20? Yeah. But yeah, definitely guilty of that at the moment. I need to get a hold of that. And even if I weaponize... we don't have time for this. I gotta shut up. Next up. I forget my past victories as soon as I win them. Oh man, like, can I double check this? Big check markers. Okay, so I sure as hell do not celebrate my victories. I try really hard to actively, like, sit there and stew in a good thing I've done. Like, it is not in my nature. It is not in any natural part of me that I know of. And I mean, that's also an identity issue. Like, if I changed my persona a little bit and were like, I'm somebody who celebrates themselves. Like, if I found some way to do that, then I could probably find my way around that. Which, thinking on it, if I become a hero of my own story, heroes do what in taverns after an adventure? They drink, they celebrate, they recap, they tell the stories. And so yes, if I become a hero of my own journey, I actually really need to start doing that. And that might be something that's easier done with a community that I grow. Like, if I go out and get a picture of, Angry Orchard down at the UW Monona Terrace, I think? Either way, if I go downtown, we're in Wisconsin, we do a lot of drinking. But yeah, it'd be a good time. I should start doing that. Anyways, I treat mistakes as failures instead of experience. Or XP is how I wrote it here. I treat mistakes as failures. I sure as hell did as a kid. Mistakes as failures instead of experience. I used to be, back in my prime, like, when I was on a fucking roll with my life, like, it was fine. Like, that was a big thing. I knew that challenges were obstacles, and obstacles are there to help you train and grow. I always thought of, like, hurdles or vaulting, like jumping over something, vaulting. You can either walk around the vault and never get good, or you can jump over the vault and work your muscles. So that's the visual thing that I always think of when I think of this concept, but I think I've been bad about that lately. I treat mistakes as failures instead of XP. Yeah, I've had a really down few months. I'll put a check there. I was going to say an X. I'm putting X's instead of checks because I'm using a keyboard. Otherwise, I would have forgot what number I'm on by now. Next up, I don't celebrate milestones. Shit, do I even have milestones? I'm not embarrassed by that one, but I am sure as hell putting an X, because let's check that bad boy off. I don't have milestones. I don't pay attention to my victories. I don't know where I'm going in my journey. So therefore, I don't even know which cave the monster is in to go slay to get the loot. I'm just saying, I'm gonna go be an adventurer. And I'm doing my YouTube thing kind of blindly. But I'll figure my shit out soon. I'll keep that in mind. Okay. I believe being an NPC is safer than being a hero. That is grotesque. At least to me. Like, that is like a repulsive idea, so I believe that being an NPC is safer than being a hero. I don't. Not in any way. So luckily, I don't have that. There's a lot of things I'm not risk averse about, which, no shame if you are, it's just a mental state. That's a lot more of being in the survivor versus, what is it? Survivor maintaining, and then thriving mentalities. But yeah, I don't deal a lot with the survivor mentality, aside from finances when I was unemployed for a long time. That was a rough part of this year. Anyways, I undervalue my voice in the story. As a bard, do you know what the answer is? Check mark that one. I'm apparently tone deaf with my own voice. I have really good hearing for notes. I can tell if something's sour or on, or like, I could do a lot with my ears. That sounds weird. I should stop talking. I love music. I'm good at perceiving it. I suck at singing it. I've never been trained, and I actually want to get into that. But that's really me tangenting. Back on subject. But yeah, I undervalue my voice in the story. I'm working on that actively. It's still a check mark. I let villains define me more than allies do. Oh, is that related to FU energy? Because I am a punk at heart. I am a rebellious monster. Let's see. I let villains define me more than allies do. I'd say yes, just because that's my focus. Yeah, I would definitely say yeah. That's 100% yeah. I focus on the villains in my story more than I focus on my allies. I have no idea how my friends would actually help define me. Like, I know how they helped me grow and things like that if I think about it, but that is not my focus naturally. I'll have to work on that. Next up, we got 3 more. I think my story doesn't matter. Ironic to A Bard's Life channel name. I'm doing this to help you become the hero of the story and not myself, and only during recording this did I realize that I'm an idiot. Oh, big check mark on that one. Okay. 27. I forgot that all heroes start as nobodies. Sorry, I forget that all heroes start as nobodies. I remind myself of that pretty normally. Like, I try to think back to the humble beginnings. That's a practiced thing. So I'm gonna not check mark that one. That one I'm comfortable with. Oh, there's a lot of check marks. God, I suck. Oh boy. Whew. Anyways, last one. I'm waiting for someone else to tell my story. I'm not gonna check that one. Oh no. The thought just hit me. I'm waiting for someone else to tell my story. No, I'm not. I undervalue my own voice and my own story. It's like, shit. So yeah, I don't check mark that one because I don't value my own story. So, that's a point for me. Okay, so what did I get? 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19? Oh my god. Okay. Oof. I didn't hit my last category, but just barely. Okay, so if you've only checked 7 or less, you're a hero, you're on fire, you're already there. Just keep doing your stuff and keep working on yourself. It's awesome. If you checked 14 or less, so half, you're stuck halfway between NPC and hero, pick your quest, stick to it, keep going. And if you're in my category, 21 or less, that's by groups of 7 if you haven't noticed. You're living as an NPC in your own world. That ends now. Fuck. And then if you've checked more than that, so if you've checked 22 to 28 of them, which I'm very close to, you've surrendered to your story. But the good news, every hero's tale begins with a wake-up call. And it's true. That means you have the greatest hero's journey to accomplish. And your story is going to be the best. Because everyone loves an underdog. Everyone loves someone who starts at the bottom and works their way up to legend. So, I'm actually really excited for the people in that category. That is some tasty tales they're going to be telling. But yeah, that is my checklist. If you're still here, holy shit, like, you're fucking awesome. Anyways, sorry for the rambling. I'll put this up on Patreon. It's going to be on free for Patreon. I'm not going to put it behind the paywalls. I do have some tiers for that. I'll figure out more about that specifically and what I can release out to you guys. But if you want to support me financially, it's there. Yada yada. Subscribe, like, all that other crap. Anyways, that's not what I'm here for. I hope this helped you. And I'm going to say, if you feel really good about any of these, or you have any that you really want to work on and you want to just put it out there, like, I'm rooting for you. I want to hear it in the comments. Like, not just to shill, to shill engagement. No, I don't give a shit about that. I want to actually hear your stories. That will excite me. That'll keep me on track. So you'll also help me. I help you to help me. It's like, I can't just help myself yet. Working on it. But anyways, no, just share the dopamine. Like, it's fun. It's good. I'll try to do the same. I'm going to do some videos on some of these specifically. We'll see if I hit all of them, but I doubt it. I do not, like, stay on task that well. And I also work a lot, so I'll do what I can, guys. But you're awesome. I will see you in the next adventure. Have a good night, heroes. Is that a good sign off?